The weight of a secret is a heavy burden to bear, especially when it's kept from the person you love most. What begins with good intentions can spiral into a trap of your own making, where the truth becomes a weapon and silence a slow-acting poison. My story is one of a well-intentioned lie that became a catastrophic betrayal, and what it cost me was everything. Zara was the light of my life. An artist with a soul as vibrant as the colors on her palette, she saw the world in a way no one else did. When we met, I was lost, and she found me, pulling me out of the darkness and showing me the beauty in the simple act of living. 3 years ago, we set our vows, promising to face the world together, for better or worse. We were just two kids in love, scraping by on my salary from the hardware store and the small commissions Zara earned from her art. Life was simple, and for a while, it felt perfect. But I had a secret. I wasn't just working my day job. At night, while Zara was lost in her studio, I was hunched over my laptop, building a freelance web design business. It started small, a few $100s here, 1,000 there. I opened a separate bank account, telling myself it was a surprise for Zara, a nest egg for our future. Maybe a down payment on a house, or a way to fund her lifelong dream of opening her own art gallery. I imagined the look on her face when I finally revealed it, the relief and joy that would make all our struggles worth it. Then, the business exploded. Small local clients turned into major corporations, and the money started rolling in faster than I could have ever imagined. The account grew from a few thousand to over $100,000. With each deposit, the weight of the lie grew heavier. How could I tell the woman I loved that while she was worrying about the cost of groceries and rent, I had a fortune hidden away? My secret, once a gift, had become a prison. I kept telling myself I'd find the right time to tell her, but that moment never came. Then my body betrayed me. It started with a persistent, pounding headache that wouldn't go away. Soon, a suffocating fatigue set in, making it impossible for me to work, even to get out of bed. The doctors were baffled. Test after test came back inconclusive. They suggested it might be stress, a virus, something they couldn't identify. For 3 months I was useless. The freelance income stopped completely, and the weight of our life fell squarely on Zara's shoulders. I watched, helpless, as my wife became a ghost of her former self. She worked her day job, then came home to paint until the early hours of the morning to meet commission deadlines. Her passion, once a source of light, became another obligation. The joy in her eyes faded, replaced by a deep weariness. She stopped talking about her dreams, about the gallery she wanted to open. She was drowning, and the life preserver I had so carefully constructed was hidden away in a bank account she didn't know existed. I wanted to tell her, to end her suffering, to show her that all our problems could disappear with a single phone call. But the words were stuck in my throat. The fear of her reaction, of her anger, her hurt, her ultimate betrayal, was a powerful deterrent. I convinced myself it was better to wait until I was healthy again, until I could frame the money as current income rather than a long-held secret. I was a coward. I chose silence over truth, and it cost me everything. The breaking point came on a cool October morning. I was still weak and dizzy when Zara sat on the edge of the bed. Her hands were stained with paint, and her eyes were red and swollen. "I can't do this anymore, Nathan," she whispered. Her words hit me like a physical blow. "I love you, but I'm drowning. I'm working 3 jobs, we're falling behind on everything, and you're not getting better. I feel like I'm disappearing too." My heart shattered into a million pieces. She told me she needed to separate, to find a way to save herself. I couldn't argue. What could I say? "Wait, I've been lying to you for years. While you were sacrificing everything, I was sitting on a small fortune that could solve all our problems." I just nodded, and the next week, she moved out. The divorce papers came a month later. She didn't ask for a dime, didn't fight for anything. She just wanted out, as quickly and painlessly as possible. She even paid for her own legal fees, a final act of self-sacrifice from a woman who had given me everything and was walking away with nothing. The irony was a bitter pill to swallow. I signed the papers, a monumental failure of a man who had the means to save his wife, but was too much of a coward to do so. After she was gone, something strange happened. My symptoms faded. The headaches disappeared, the fatigue lifted. It was as if my body had been carrying the weight of my secret, and once the lie could no longer hurt her, I was finally free. I went back to work, rebuilt my freelance business, and the money started flowing again. But it was all so hollow now. My success, once a source of pride, was now a monument to my shame. 6 months later, I saw her at a coffee shop downtown. She looked different, stronger, with a new kind of light in her eyes. It wasn't the vibrant joy I once knew, but a quiet resilience. She was with someone new, a man who made her laugh the way I once did. I saw in him a kindness I had never been brave enough to show her. In that moment, I wanted to tell her everything, to confess my lie, to beg for a chance to fix it all. But what would be the point? She had saved herself. She had found her way back to happiness, not because of me, but in spite of me. The money is still there, collecting interest in that same bank account. It's a constant reminder of my failure, a monument to my cowardice. I sometimes think about using it to start the art gallery she always dreamed of, but even that feels like another lie. My secret, meant to protect her, became the very thing that destroyed her faith in me. My lie was not about money. It was about trust. And once that trust was broken, there was no amount of money in the world that could ever fix it. Zara is better off without me. She is stronger, more resilient, and more beautiful for having survived the worst version of our life together. I just wish I had been brave enough to let her see the best version before it was too late.